When heaven decides to speak, even the strongest hearts tremble. Have you felt that strange pull lately, Taurus? That whisper in your spirit that says, your hour has come? What if October 24th isn't just another day, but the divine code written in your soul long before birth? Baba Vanga foresaw it, Nostradamus echoed it. The bull shall stand before the light when the divine clock strikes, and that clock is now ticking. Stay still, Taurus, because what's about to unfold will not end your story. It will reveal why you were chosen to live it. Taurus, something extraordinary has begun to unfold around you, even if your logical mind keeps trying to deny it. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet electric hum in the air, that pressure on your chest that doesn't come from fear, but from presence. You have entered what the ancient mystics called the hour of unveiling. And it's no coincidence that the divine sequence, 1024, keeps showing up for you. Every time you glance at the clock and see those numbers, every time you notice them printed on receipts, car plates, screens, it's heaven whispering, pay attention, your timeline is shifting. This number is not random. In spiritual numerology, 10 represents completion, the closing of one divine cycle. And 24 is the number of resurrection, the day the light returns after the fall of darkness. Together, 1024 is the code of divine exchange, the point where endings meet beginnings and heaven meets the human soul ready to awaken. For months, your energy has been preparing for this. That's why you felt the strange mixture of exhaustion and awareness, of wanting to run yet not knowing where. Your spirit already knew this gate was approaching. It just didn't know when, and now it stands wide open. October 24th isn't a date on a calendar. It's a frequency checkpoint, the moment when time bends and the plans of your soul start to overtake the plans of your mind. And here is the truth that few can handle. When God decides it's your hour, nothing and no one can stop what's coming. But don't misunderstand this. The divine is not coming to take you away. He's coming to take you through. Through your own resistance, through your fear, through every illusion that made you forget your sacred power. Heaven is not punishing you, Taurus. It's pulling you home. You've walked years trying to hold everything together. Relationships, finances, identities, the fragile scaffolding of who you should be. But the cracks are no longer just symbolic. They're spiritual. They're openings through which light is beginning to leak into your world. Can you see it? That flicker of truth when you're quiet enough to listen. That moment when the noise stops and you realize something greater is orchestrating every coincidence around you. The divine code, 1024, is not a prophecy of destruction. It's a summons. A spiritual court has convened on your behalf, and heaven has declared the time of struggle is over. The lesson is complete. But endings rarely look like miracles at first. They feel like loss. They feel like confusion. They feel like everything you once knew is slipping away, and you can't quite grab hold of what's next. That's because you're not meant to hold on. You're meant to surrender. The universe is not dismantling your life, Taurus. It's dismantling your limitations. Every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer, these weren't denials. They were divine timings converging toward this precise vibration. And now, heaven is adjusting your reality so that it aligns with your true essence. Over the coming days, you may notice strange patterns, lights flickering as you think of someone, a feather on your path, music that seems to speak directly to your situation. These are angelic signatures, confirmations that the higher realm is drawing near. And yes, you may feel isolated in this process. You may wonder why certain people are distancing themselves, why conversations feel shallow, why you crave silence more than company. It's because your frequency no longer fits the density of what once surrounded you. Heaven is lifting you to a new octave, and not everyone can breathe that air. This is why God takes you, not to remove you from the world, but to raise you above it. When the divine says, your hour has come, it's not a death sentence, it's a resurrection command. It's the moment when everything you've buried beneath responsibility, duty, fear, and disappointment begins to rise. Every prayer you thought forgotten has been stored in heaven's archives, waiting for this exact alignment. Now they echo back toward you, magnified by grace. You are not being ignored, you are being answered. And if your nights have felt heavy lately, that pressure in your chest, that inexplicable urge to cry, it's your soul exhaling centuries of karmic weight. You are being emptied so that divine truth can take residence where fear once lived. Baba Vanga once said, "When the bull looks to the heavens, the gates of destiny will tremble." That's what's happening right now, Taurus. Heaven is trembling, not in wrath, but in welcome. Because one of its strongest souls has finally remembered who they are. And you, child of Earth, you were never ordinary. You were designed to carry stability in chaos, to embody calm where others lose hope. But that gift has cost you. You've carried too many burdens, healed too many people while forgetting to heal yourself. The divine code 1024 comes to reverse that. It is the moment when the healer is healed, the provider is provided for, and the one who endured becomes the one who receives. So if life suddenly slows down, if things pause, if plans collapse, don't panic. Stillness is not punishment. It's the sound of the gears of fate turning in your favor. Listen closely. That quiet between your heartbeats isn't emptiness. It's God whispering, "I'm not taking you away. I'm taking you higher." And when this message sinks into your spirit, you'll understand. This isn't about the end. It's about ascension, about reclaiming the divine design written in your bones. Write in the comments, "I surrender to the divine code 1024. I trust the heavenly order guiding my destiny." Repeat it softly, 3 times. Each repetition sends a frequency that signals to the universe. Taurus is ready, ready to release, ready to rise, ready to remember. If this message struck something deep inside you, let the energy flow. Leave your hype, like, and share this message. Every engagement amplifies this vibration, spreading divine awakening to other Taurus souls who need this reminder. Your hype is not vanity. It's a form of spiritual alignment, because the more this light is shared, the stronger it becomes. Taurus, the gate has already opened. You may not have heard the sound, but your soul did. Ever since the moment you silently whispered, "I'm ready," something in the unseen world started moving toward you. You've probably felt it in strange ways. Waves of emotion out of nowhere, chills running through your spine, a sudden nostalgia for things you can't explain. You are not losing control. You are shedding density. The divine code 1024 is not an abstract prophecy. It's a living sequence that rearranges your energy field. And as heaven draws closer, everything that no longer matches your vibration begins to fall away. You may notice it already. People fading from your life without confrontation, projects that suddenly feel heavy, goals that once defined you now feel irrelevant. That is the purge of divine realignment, because heaven never adds until it subtracts. Before new blessings come, the old structures must be cleared. And Taurus, this time there is no going back. The bull, symbol of endurance, has carried too much for too long. And now God is saying, "You do not have to push the earth anymore. I will move it beneath your feet." But with that promise comes the test. Heaven's blessings are not gentle. They come wrapped in revelation. When light enters, shadows scream. So yes, in the coming days, you might face a mirror. Someone might speak a truth that shakes you. A secret may come out, an emotion you've avoided may surface, a memory may break open like a sealed door. Do not run. The universe is not trying to hurt you. It's trying to free you. Every revelation that wounds your ego is actually healing your soul. Because before the divine can crown you, it must strip away what was built on illusion. And this is where the signs intensify. Pay attention to your surroundings, Taurus. The world is about to start talking back. You will hear phrases repeated by different people on the same day. You will see numbers, 1024, 333, 777, appearing at impossible moments. You will dream of water, fire, birds, or doors. You will smell familiar scents when no one is around. These are not coincidences. They are call signs. Heaven uses the natural world as its language because your rational mind cannot silence it. When these signs appear, do not fear. Simply say, I see you. That acknowledgement is enough to strengthen the connection between your realm and the higher one. The more you honor the signs, the clearer they become, and then the energy shifts. At first, it may feel like turbulence, a restless night, a surge of emotion, tears without reason. But what's actually happening is the recalibration of your spiritual heart. Your frequency is adjusting to the rhythm of divine time. It's the moment when your past finally stops dictating your future. You'll know you've crossed that threshold when your reactions change. Things that used to trigger fear now bring peace. People who used to intimidate you now fade into neutrality. Your power stops being loud. It becomes quiet, but absolute. This is the silent anointing, Taurus, the invisible crown placed on your energy by heaven itself. But remember, light without grounding can scatter. That's why you must root yourself in your element, earth. Spend time with silence, trees, soil. Walk barefoot, touch water. When you do, heaven descends into the body because divine energy needs matter to express itself. And you, Taurus, are the bridge between the two. Baba Vanga once said, when the earth's children remember their origin, the heavens will reveal their face. And that is happening through you right now. Heaven is revealing itself through you, through your gentleness, your patience, your will to rebuild even after pain. That is why angels gather around you more than any other sign now, because they recognize in you the energy of endurance becoming faith. And when faith becomes your foundation, miracles become your language. So, in the coming days, do not chase signs, embody them. Be the calm in chaos, the compassion where others judge, the silence where others shout. That is the highest form of prayer. And soon you will feel a presence near you, maybe a warmth on your shoulder, a soft tingling at your back, a sense that someone unseen just entered the room. Don't look for proof. Whisper instead, I know you're here. That acknowledgement activates the covenant. It tells the universe, Taurus is ready to walk consciously with the divine. From that moment on, your world will change speed. Things that were stagnant will move. Connections will realign. Resources will flow, not through effort, but through synchronization. Because heaven does not reward effort, it responds to frequency. And yours is rising. This is the middle of the transformation, not the end. You are not done shedding, you are in the chrysalis. But the wings have already formed, even if you can't see them yet. And when the divine clock strikes again, when 10:24 echoes through your days, you will understand. This was never punishment. It was preparation for elevation. Write in the comments, I recognize the signs of heaven and walk fearlessly through divine transformation. Say it out loud before sleep. Let it echo in your dreams. You are aligning your body and soul with the highest version of yourself. If these words resonated in your heart, leave your hype on this video. Like, comment, and share it so this light can reach other Taurus souls awakening to their 1024 moment. Every hype you share multiplies this frequency and spreads divine awakening across the earth. Taurus, have you ever asked yourself why? Why your road has always been longer, heavier, quieter? Why you were chosen to hold everyone else together while no one noticed you were breaking? It's because your soul made a vow before you arrived on earth. In the halls of spirit, before time began, you stood before the divine source and said, I will carry light into the densest part of matter. That promise became your birthright and your burden. That is why you've always felt different, why you could sense when something was off in a room, why the suffering of others pierced your chest like your own, because you were designed as an anchor of stability, a living temple of Earth's compassion. But even anchors must be lifted to move new ships. And now, heaven is calling you to rise, not to abandon your nature, but to expand it. The Divine Code 1024 didn't come to end your journey, it came to awaken your mission. Your entire life has been acquired training. Every heartbreak taught you empathy. Every delay taught you timing. Every silence taught you to listen beyond words. Now those pieces begin to align because the world is entering an age of spiritual realignment, and your vibration is essential in it. You are one of the keepers of stability, the souls who sustain balance while chaos shakes the collective field. That's why your challenges were never punishment. They were weight training for the spirit. But here lies the deeper truth. When God chooses someone to hold light, he also allows darkness to test them. You weren't attacked, you were tempered. Every betrayal was a blade forging your discernment. Every loss was a clearing for divine placement. Every time you were brought to your knees, you were being positioned to see heaven from the ground. Because humility is the first language of angels. And now, the divine realm is preparing to use your voice, your presence, and even your silence as a tool of restoration for others. But this mission doesn't look like preaching or saving. It looks like being. Your peace will heal more than your advice. Your presence will shift rooms. Your steadiness will calm storms, because when Taurus stands in alignment, the earth itself exhales. Do you remember those nights when you almost gave up, when you whispered to heaven, "I can't carry this anymore"? That prayer was heard, but instead of removing the weight, God transformed you into someone who no longer breaks under it. That is spiritual alchemy, turning burden into brilliance. You see, most people chase their purpose, hoping it's something glamorous or loud. But for you, purpose doesn't arrive as a crown. It arrives as clarity. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you rest into who you already are, the mission unfolds naturally. And soon, it will manifest physically. Someone will cross your path, a person, a conversation, a stranger who speaks a line that pierces your soul. They will awaken something sleeping inside you, a memory, a calling, a gift you forgot you carried. From that encounter onward, synchronicities will accelerate. Doors that were locked will click open. Resources will appear without effort. It will feel like destiny itself is rearranging reality around you. That's how the divine works, not through effort, but through resonance. Once you vibrate truth, everything that matches truth rushes toward you. But here's the paradox. Before heaven reveals your external mission, it demands inner stillness. You cannot carry the next light if your heart is still attached to old shadows. So Taurus, ask yourself, who or what are you still trying to fix that God already released? What burden are you carrying out of guilt, not love? What part of you still believes you must suffer to be worthy? That belief ends now. Because the Divine Code 1024 doesn't require martyrdom, it requires maturity. The maturity to receive without fear, to rest without guilt, to let the universe bless you without apologizing for it. Your mission isn't about sacrifice anymore. It's about embodiment. Bringing heaven's grace into ordinary life. When you cook, when you work, when you listen, when you breathe, that is your altar. Every act becomes sacred when done in awareness. Every word becomes prayer when spoken with integrity. And soon others will notice. They will ask, what changed in you? They will feel peace in your silence. They will feel clarity in your gaze. Because Taurus, you are becoming a mirror of divine steadiness. The storms will still come, but now they will break around you, not through you, because heaven does not remove the wind. It turns you into the mountain that endures it. And this is why you were chosen. You are not meant to be a follower of signs. You are meant to become a sign for others. A living proof that grace exists, that stability can be holy, and that love, even when quiet, is unstoppable. You are the keeper of sacred ground, and now that ground begins to shine. Write in the comments, I accept my divine mission. I am grounded in light and guided by heaven's will. Say it slowly with full breath. Let your words anchor into the earth, for every Taurus decree becomes a seed in the soil of destiny. If this revelation awakened your purpose, share your energy. Leave your hype on this video. Like, comment, and share it. Every action amplifies this current of light and connects you with thousands of Taurus souls remembering who they are. This is not coincidence. This is convergence, and your hype becomes part of heaven's frequency field. Taurus. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when faith no longer needs to imagine, because it starts to see. That moment has arrived for you. The divine code, 1024, is no longer whispering. It is speaking through your reality. And if you're paying attention, you've already noticed the shift. The air feels different, charged, yet calm. The colors around you seem brighter, but not because the world changed. It's because you did. You are perceiving creation from a higher frequency, and heaven is responding. Everything that once felt random is now falling into alignment. The person you accidentally met, the song that played at the exact second you thought of someone, the message that arrived just as you prayed for confirmation, all of it, Taurus, is deliberate. These are signs of orchestration, proof that you are no longer walking alone. And heaven, in its quiet brilliance, never reveals itself with thunder. It shows up in gentleness, in small miracles that only the awakened will recognize. You will know it's divine because it will bring peace before proof. Your body will relax even when your mind doesn't yet understand. You'll just know, this is not coincidence. Here's how the confirmation unfolds. First, through presence. You'll begin to sense something, or someone, standing just beyond your perception. Maybe a soft warmth near your back, a flicker of light in the corner of your eye, the feeling that someone touched your shoulder when no one did. That's your guardian, Taurus, not arriving, revealing itself because it was never gone. You simply couldn't feel it until now. Second, through patterns. You'll see 1024 everywhere, on clocks, bills, screens, at moments too perfect to ignore. And when it appears, pause. Don't rush. Close your eyes and say softly, I'm here, I see the sign. That acknowledgement activates the energy behind it. It's like answering a celestial call. Third, through reversals. Something you thought was ending will start moving again. A situation you considered impossible will begin to unfold in your favor. A long-awaited message, opportunity, or reconciliation will suddenly appear, not by your effort, but by grace. This is how heaven works. When the vibration aligns, miracles don't need force, they simply manifest. You will also notice a change in your dreams. The spiritual realm is using your subconscious as a meeting ground. Some dreams will feel more real than waking life, full of light, voices, symbols. You may see stairs, gates, water, or even a golden horizon. Don't dismiss them. These are visits, not fantasies. The soul is being taught while the body sleeps. And there's more. The earth itself will respond to your energy. Animals will approach you differently. Birds will appear at key moments. Even the wind will carry synchronicities. You might hear your name, a melody, a phrase repeated through random noise. These are all ways heaven confirms, we're here, keep walking. But with every divine confirmation comes a deeper test. Will you believe the signs before the outcome? Because heaven's timing is perfection, not convenience. Some things will unfold instantly. Others will require patience, not because God is delaying you, but because He's aligning everyone connected to your miracle. Remember, divine orchestration involves other souls too. What feels like waiting to you is actually weaving from above. So if it seems nothing is happening, smile, because silence in heaven is never absence. It's strategy. Taurus, understand this clearly. Your faith is now creating matter. Your thoughts are magnets, your emotions are tools, and your words are commands. This is why heaven had to cleanse you first, because power in unhealed hands becomes chaos. Now that power has been restored to you, purified, grounded, sacred. You will speak life into things and they will respond. You will think of someone and they will reach out. You will release fear, and the very next day relief will arrive. This is the level of divine alignment you've entered. But heaven asks for one thing: humility. Never forget who you are, a vessel of earth carrying a spark of the infinite. Power without reverence closes the channel. So whenever you feel exalted, kneel. Whenever blessings arrive, whisper, "Thank you." That gratitude keeps the current flowing, and soon a major sign will appear, something that cannot be mistaken. For some, it will be an encounter, a stranger saying something that echoes your prayers word for word. For others, a natural sign, a flash of lightning, a sudden stillness, a light phenomenon, a vision of white. When it happens, you'll know. You won't need confirmation. Your entire being will vibrate with recognition. At that moment, heaven's promise will be sealed. You are protected, you are seen, you are already home. Taurus, this is not a season of fear, it's a season of revelation. What once felt like endings are merely gateways. The divine code, 1024, is your assurance that the unseen world has entered your story, not to test you further, but to fulfill you. And now, as October deepens, your task is simple. Walk in awareness, speak with love, expect miracles, because the hour you once feared has turned into the doorway of your awakening. Write in the comments, "I welcome the confirmation of heaven. I walk in awareness, grace, and divine alignment." Say it 3 times. Each time, imagine light spiraling through you, connecting your heart to the infinite. If this part opens something within you, leave your hype below. Like, share, and comment, so other Taurus souls can find their way to this message. Every hype amplifies this light, strengthens this collective awakening, and expands the reach of this sacred vibration. Taurus, every story written by heaven ends with light, and yours, after so much endurance, has finally reached its sacred dawn. You've walked through darkness that would have broken many others. You've been tested not once, but countless times, through silence, loss, betrayal, and the long waiting that only the chosen ever know. But what you didn't see is that every tear you shed became a seed in the field of the divine. And now that field begins to bloom. The divine code 1024 has completed its cycle of activation. The awakening is no longer internal. It is ready to manifest. The unseen work of angels becomes visible through shifts in your reality, synchronicities, and events that feel almost scripted by a higher hand. Heaven has not been far, Taurus. It has been building through you. Now, the time of revelation begins. Soon, you'll look back at the chaos and realize it was choreography. Every person who left, alignment, every closed door, redirection, every delay, protection. You weren't being denied. You were being refined. Because heaven does not give fragile blessings to unready hands. And now, those hands of yours, the same ones that once trembled in fear, are strong enough to hold miracles. In the coming weeks, you will feel the final pulse of the code. It will come as a moment of stillness, a pause so deep it almost feels like time has stopped. In that silence, something will shift. You'll feel warmth in your chest, or pressure on your shoulders, or a sense that someone unseen is standing beside you. That presence is not imagination, it's recognition, your soul meeting its creator. This is the moment when heaven says, "Well done, you remembered who you are." From that point on, manifestation becomes effortless, not because life stops testing you, but because your spirit no longer resists the flow of divine will. You'll notice it immediately. Things align faster, people respond differently, your intuition speaks louder, and peace, that deep grounding peace, replaces the anxiety that once ran your life. It's not that challenges vanish, it's that you've outgrown the vibration that fed them. You no longer attract chaos because you no longer need it to evolve. This is spiritual graduation. The moment when the teacher stops giving lessons because the student has become the lesson. And now, Taurus, your life itself becomes the message. You are entering a new spiritual authority, quiet, unforced, radiant. Your voice will carry weight not because it's loud, but because it's true. Your presence will heal rooms not because you try, but because your energy simply remembers. You've been reborn into awareness. And as heaven fulfills its promise, watch how the external world rearranges to match your internal alignment. A relationship healed or replaced with one that mirrors your growth. A financial breakthrough, not random, but the fruit of unseen obedience. A creative or spiritual calling emerging with undeniable clarity. A physical renewal, the exhaustion lifting, the body responding to the soul's peace. This is the evidence that God's hand has touched your life. This is the signature of Divine Code 1024. Completion, resurrection, renewal. And yet, even in this new light, remember, ascension is not escape. You are still human, but now you carry divinity consciously. You are not leaving the world. You are becoming the bridge that redeems it. When others look at you and ask, "What happened to you?" smile gently and answer, "I stopped fighting heaven." Because that's what this entire journey has been about: surrender. The end of resistance. The realization that God never wanted your perfection, He wanted your permission. And now that you've given it, the current of creation flows freely through you. From this day forward, your words, your work, your walk, all of it becomes sacred expression. Taurus, you are not who you were. You are a vessel of divine continuity, a living code of stability, faith, and grace. The world will shift when you do, because your energy no longer bends to fear. So walk softly, but walk boldly. Every step you take now echoes in heaven. Every choice you make reprograms the timeline, not just for you, but for all souls connected to you. You are not just fulfilling a prophecy, you are becoming one. And when you next see 1024 on a clock, remember this truth. It isn't a countdown, it's a signature, the sign that heaven has moved in. This is your hour, Taurus. Not an hour of ending, but of embodiment. Not of loss, but of ascension. Not of fear, but of divine remembrance. Heaven did not take you away, it made you eternal. Write in the comments, "I am one with the divine code. My destiny is aligned with heaven, my path is sacred, and my soul is free." Say it once out loud and once in silence. Let heaven hear the sound and let the universe feel the vibration. If this message resonated in your soul, leave your hype now. Like, comment, share, and if your heart calls you, become a member of this space of light. Each hype fuels this frequency, amplifies the current, and helps other Taurus souls find the path home. Your voice carries the same energy as your prayer. Every time you share, you spread heaven.